Hey, what's up? It's your boy Chanda and Mbao, and we're back with another episode of Z Hip-Hop History, the wonderful and amazing visual podcast. And we have a special guest today, a man who I've had the pleasure of knowing for definitely over a decade and who's been making great music for a long time, innit? So we're going to be speaking today to the legendary, and it's going to be a pleasure to unravel his personal journey, but definitely a talented individual, probably one of the most talented individuals I've met in the Zambian music industry. Welcome to the show, Magician. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm chilling, man. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. You know, it's a pleasure to be with a true talent.
Come on, man. I have to sacrifice a session for this. This is special to me.
Thank you, man.
I'm glad
Thank
to be
you.
here.
No, we really appreciate that, man. As the people know, and as you know, we're basically trying to document Z hip-hop history and the people who've contributed a lot to it, contributed to the sound, to the industry, to the different aspects of it. And for me, you're definitely one of those people. And I think a lot of people might then not know about your journey, that you've been, holding down the game for a long time. So I wanted to just backtrack and basically tell your story. And, as you know, and as we discussed, a lot of it is about, teaching the generations to come where they can learn from us. So that's basically it. So when did your musical journey with hip hop and the Zambian hip hop game start? What year? If you can remember, can you remember?
Well, I've always been musically inclined. I think that music runs in the family. Mm-hmm. So it starts way back as maybe like 8th grade or something. That must have been like 2000 and maybe like 3 or something like that. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, so I've always been passionate about music, anyways. And then my dad was a church elder, so we used to keep the sound. What do you call this? Sound equipment. Yeah, at the house.
Awesome.
So every time my dad would leave the house, I'll steal it and experiment. So. Yeah, well, rest in peace, Dad.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, so that's how my journey began. And then, my brothers always had, they had a lot of audio tapes. I think they had every hip-hop album, every R&B album. So yeah, that's where I picked it up from.
So the elder brothers, how many siblings do you have, and where do you fall in the order of your family?
Okay, I have like 6, and then I'm the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of older brothers to show you.
There's only 2 girls in our family. So the rest of us is boys.
Okay.
Yeah, so my brothers also used to rap and stuff, produce a little, but I was better than them, trust me.
That's funny. So I'd like to unravel a little bit. How did the interest go from, experimenting with the church equipment and kind of knowing that, I guess church music was a part of your life and your father's life. How did that turn into something that led into the hip hop side of things? Because obviously that's where I know you from, and I'd love to understand how that transition happened. Okay,
to be honest, I grew up being a very bored little kid. My life was all about church. Like 4 days of church in a week.
Wow.
And then the rest of the days was school. Mm-hmm. So when I got the chance to have an opportunity to, explore the music side of life, I was very excited, and I had to sacrifice other things that were taking up a lot of my time. For instance, school. So lucky enough for me, my neighbor opened a little home studio.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is Fit Boss. Shout out to Fit Boss. Yeah.
Very important.
So this guy used to invite me over and be like, okay, cool. I see that you've got music in you, so I want to teach you how to make beats and whatever. So this guy, I think okay, are we getting there yet? The beat side of me? Or is this?
No, it's your general journey, I think, with music. So if it started there with the production, then we can talk about that. But it's just kind of thinking about your progression, going from starting with that, experimenting with the church equipment.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this guy taught me how to make a beat. I think he spent like 30 minutes to show me the basics. He left. He had to go run some errands. He got back. He was surprised. I made my first beat. I didn't know how to record myself at the time. So he recorded me. And guess what happens after that? He released a track, Just in the Hood, you know. I already had haters dissing me and stuff like that. So when I noticed that people actually, you know, appreciated my sound to even diss me for no reason, I didn't even know them. I realized that I think I had something in me.
So he released a track on your beat?
On my own beat.
Oh, you released a track?
Yeah, the first beat I ever made. I rapped on it.
Okay.
And then people in the hood dissed me because of that.
I see.
So I think I was competition to them. And you know, when they released that the diss track, I was excited. I wanted to do more because I didn't think they were better than me.
What year was that when you dropped that first track?
What year was this? That was like maybe like 2002, 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere there. Yeah.
So you dropped this track and some guys in the neighborhood catch wind of this. What was your name at the time?
My name was Italic.
Italic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you dropped this track that you produced and you rapped on as Italic in 2002.
Yeah.
And the kids in the neighborhood or whatever catch wind of this track and feel like, oh, this guy, he's whack. We're going to diss him. Yeah. Right. And so they dropped the diss track.
They released it like on the streets in the hood. Yeah. And there was
which hood is this, by the way?
Charleston.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Charleston, you gotta represent, bro. You gotta.
Yeah, Charleston every day, all day, baby. I was born there. I was raised there. Yeah.
So they dropped this diss track. What happens next?
So I responded.
Okay.
But then the tension was too much because a similar situation happened between two other guys. One that was also on the label, the label that the guy who taught me how to make beats owns.
Fit Boss, right?
Fit Boss. There's another guy who recorded there at the time. And then so another guy, I don't remember what their label was, but they dissed each other basically and it became violent. So one guy got stabbed. Yeah. So Fit Boss was like, you know what, don't release this response because you know it's becoming very violent. And at the time there was that thing in America between, you know, the likes of Jay-Z and Nas. 50 Cent and Jay-Z, you know. So us growing up, it was cool to retaliate when somebody talks snack about you or whatever. So he basically told me not to release the song. Yeah.
So you had released your initial debut or your first track, and then it entered into this beef situation, and then you basically, on the kind of advice of an OG, decided to cut that short.
Yeah, so don't do it.
What was the next project that you entered into, and was it mostly focused on the rapping side of you or the production side of you? I'm very interested in also, you know, explaining that journey, because you have that duality where you've been an artist, you've been a producer, you can do both. So it'd be great for, you know, for people out there to hear how you, I guess, balanced or how you developed both crafts. So what was the next step for you?
So to be honest, the whole Fit Boss situation was just like me coming up. Nobody really cared, you know, it was just in the hood, like people in my street or in the third street from mine who actually knew about me. So then, what happened after that? I got my first computer, and then I just started to make beats and practice whatever Fit Boss taught me, and just perfecting how to make beats and stuff. So I made a beat that I felt was tough. At the time, my inspirations were, I think, Fabulous, Lloyd Banks, Papoose, you know. So I made these beats, and I hollered at a friend who knew some connects that owned like professional studios. So he took me to this studio called, what was it called? I don't even remember. Anyways, it was in town somewhere. Kenneth Kaunda house, actually. Okay. So this guy takes me there and I make my own beats, but I didn't know how to mix or master. So I just did my thing. This track was titled This Is It.
This Is It by Italic.
By Italic, yeah. It's pretty dope. So that one is the one I released officially, like it was even on radio stations, and there was a show that was called Hip-Hop to Rock Your Block. Yeah, it became #1.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah,
oh man, you had number one early.
For a couple like over a month, maybe
no
like 2
way,
months.
for real, huh?
Yeah,
You had a number one early, man.
Yeah.
That what year is that? Because the initial situations happens 2002. Is this the following year, the year after that? Like when did this new single, This Is It, happen?
That was maybe a year later or two.
So 2003.
Somewhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I got buzz off of that. And then, you know, that was very motivating to me because I didn't expect for people to even vote for the track to be number one.
Yeah.
Because people were calling in and saying, yeah, that we're vibing to that. This is it, you know. So I got an opportunity to be called by certain people like Freddie Banknotes, very influential guy.
Of course, yeah.
You know, at the time they used to have Trendsetters.
Ooh, what's that?
Trendsetters. They had a studio over there and they had a magazine called Trendsetters.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
So they had this hip hop movement. So they would have meetings, I think, every Saturday of every month, I think, if I remember very well. Yeah, so, you know, we used to link up over there and just discuss ways forward of how to maybe improve the industry in Zambia. So, you know, after that, I linked up a few faces that, you know, helped me get somewhere at least. And then after the meetings, we usually had this cypher thing. So people didn't know like what my capabilities were in terms of rap, like that, like raw street rap. So now we started freestyling, you know. Once I met Slap D there.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Before he was king.
That's awesome.
He was just Muila, almost Slap. Yeah, but you know, yeah, shout out to Slap, that's my boy. So I met him and we did freestyles and whatever. I used to meet the likes of Mag 44, you know, K-Star.
Wow.
The real rappers, you know, LSK, Berg City, you know.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so that's how people realized like how good I could rap, you know. And then after that, there was those freestyle battles at malls, arcades, man. Especially arcades. Yeah. So one day I was walking to a store, and then a random guy just says, "Yo, you Italic, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, 5-4 is here. I want you all to battle." You know. So I was scared because 5-4 was like the freestyle king at the time. Yeah, he used to kill everyone. So he walks me to 5-4's car, and you know, there was people around him already, so I even got more scared. But you know, so the guy is like, "Yo, this kid is tough, man. He can kill you right now." What? You know, like hyping the whole situation up, and I was put on the spot. You know, so 5-4 is like, "Nah, I'm not gonna rap. You rap first. I'm not gonna waste my time. I don't even know this kid. Start to rap. Let's hear your style." I busted bars, bro. Everyone was like, whoa. And 5-4 just said, "You know what? You're talented, bro. I'm talented too, but I'm not gonna, you know, like respond to anything you say." But I was actually dissing him. Yeah. So that's how we kicked it, and we became friends, and everything. B-Mac and them were there. The rest of Pitch Black. Pitch Black and them. Yeah. And Crisis was there, I think, as well. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's how I started as a rapper.
That's crazy. Just to rewind a little bit, but you know, we'll follow in quick succession. But This Is It, your first single, produced and performed by you, correct?
Exactly.
And did the song, tell me a little bit about the song. Did it, what language was it in? Was it in English? Was it in vernac? Was it a mix?
It was English. All the way, yeah. And
what was it like for you dropping a single at that time as an English rapper?
It was a very huge challenge. You know, a lot of people used to say if you rap in English, you will never get anywhere. You try to be, you know, try to be ethnic. Why are you copying Americans, all that stuff? But you know, we come from different backgrounds. You can't force me to rap in Tonga if I don't know how to speak Tonga. You know what I mean? You feel me, right? So English is what I know how to speak. You know, so I always told these people, like, at the end of the day, English is our official language. That's what we learn when we go to school.
Cool, yeah.
So how do we communicate with people beyond our border about things in our music? You know, so I don't think language is really the issue. As long as you represent where you come from, that's all that matters. So yeah, most of my music was always in English, but you know, with time, I learned a few more words in in Nyanja and other languages, and I applied it in my music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And I guess speaking about the same kind of like chronology and the development and, you know, dropping that single at the time, when you look back to that period, what would you say were the models of success? Like, so you knew that, look, my personal circumstances, I rap in English and this is like my sound. And, you know, I guess thankfully you had yourself to produce for you. But what were the models of success around you that you were like, either were inspiring to you? I mean, I think you touched a little bit on that, but, or were antithetical to you in terms of what you were seeing around. You talk about a little bit about the naysayers who said you rap in English, it won't work. So what were the models of success around you at the time?
Locally?
Yeah, exactly. Locally. That people would either point to, or you maybe notice and would aspire to, or maybe there were a lack of success models that looked like you. What was your kind of psychological experience, you know,
I think that most of my inspirations were not even like, they were away from the genre I wanted to do. So I used to listen to a lot of Daddy Zimas. Yeah, I like Daddy Zimas. And you know, yeah, you know, I've always been that person that likes international music, not just with, you know, like you can speak in any language I mean, you can rap in any language or sing in any language, but even just the instrumental,
I see.
You know, the instrumentation, international to a certain level. So I used to compare Daddy Zimas to the likes of Shaggy, you know what I mean? So that's what used to inspire me. But with rap, you know, rappers have got a mentality of thinking nobody is better than them in the whole world.
Yeah.
So I didn't really look up to anyone at the time in terms of local rappers. But there's a couple of them I appreciate until today. Well, let me see. I used to like Crisis. Yeah. 5-4, you know, the whole Pitch Black, those guys were dope. You know. I don't know. The list is very short. But, yeah.
Okay. And I guess away from individuals that might have either inspired you or you know, or been close to you in any way, what was, in your feeling, the reference point for success at the time? Like, you know, you mentioned one that I think is pretty clear, is you had a single on radio that was #1, you know, for I guess a month, you mentioned. What were the other kind of reference point for success, or things that you saw maybe that, whether it was 5-4 and Pitch Black or that were doing, you're like, that's dope, I'd like to reach that point? Like, just trying to understand how you were benchmarking yourself as a new entrant into the hip hop market. What were those reference points of success for you?
That's actually a good question. The only problem is whoever I might have looked up to, you see, it was difficult back in the day because there's certain people you might have looked up to that were not making money. So,
and was this apparent or obvious to you at that point? You were like,
obvious.
This guy's popping, but he's definitely not caking?
Bro, once or twice I would get on a public bus and sit next to a person that's, I won't mention any names, but a person that's very popular, very famous, and be like, yo man, damn, I love your music. I actually have your music on my iPod right now. I'm a huge fan. I want to be like you. You know, so I don't know. With me at the time, I think that my ambition levels were a little bit short-sighted because I didn't see how we would make money from the music industry in Zambia. Yeah, but well, if you mention international artists, I've got a whole list. But locally, it was very difficult, you know. But there was a few of them, you know, like JK. Yeah, I used to listen to his music and be like, wow, I want to be like him, because those were the few people that were making money. Because I don't want to spit a whole 64 bars and go home broke. You know what I mean? You feel me?
No,
Yeah,
Jose,
so,
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah.
Mathematical, chatical.
yeah.
But there's nothing in there. So let's home in a little bit on that, on this, I guess, first music video, right? Tell us a little bit about what the process was like of one, conceptualizing the whole rollout, you know, especially within the context of that time, and then mobilizing the resources and making things happen from a logistical perspective to get to the point where you had a music video. Because if this is 2007, I mean, I definitely hadn't done a music video back then. I don't even know who the guys were that were doing music videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how did you find these people? How did you organize the locations or whatever you had to do to make this thing happen? Especially something that wasn't happening, you know, for a lot of people, you know, especially, you know, you mentioned some names there. They're obviously kind of, I guess, well-known names in the industry. I mean, some, you know, maybe not around anymore, but you were kind of, in a way, I think, punching above your weight, right? In a way, right? You're these new entrants in the market and you're like, no, we're going to do a music video and we're going to make sure that it launches on the biggest show in the country, right? So tell me about that process. How did you, you know, conceptualize it, and then how did you execute on it?
I guess that was a group effort. Yeah. It was this guy in my group telling me about this guy who shoots, and then this guy telling me about a guy that does push, or, you know, like helps with radio play and whatever. So I think I did the least of that type of groundwork. All I wanted to do was just make beats and rap.
The music, right? Okay.
If a person like Dirty Deeds were here, I think that they would explain more, you know, like the elevation of Familia as a whole, you know, better than me. But musically, I think that the moment we did the track, I think that people liked it a lot, especially people in high school, mostly kids. They liked the song a lot because it talked about, you know, like a dress code. So it was a very huge trend at the time. Even now, you know, everybody likes fashion. Look at you, man, you look good. You know, everybody wants to dress nice and whatever. So when you listen to a track like that, you kind of feel confident about how you look. And there's that self-esteem that you have even as you meet people. So I think that that's why it was a known song, and regardless of how low the quality of the music video might have been, the effort that you see in it is what was most appreciated. Yeah. No,
that's very interesting, and you strike on something I think that is important for people to reflect on. It. So would you say, in a way, that specialization and partnership have been themes for you in your career? You say, look, I know what I bring to the table. You know, I bring maybe raw production talent, songwriting talent, and performance talent. It's kind of a mutually beneficial partnership if somebody else can bring something else to the table. Was that something that you were conscious about, or was it just like it's how it happened that, you know, other people maybe in your group or in your proximity had different talents, or, you know, or was it just, you know, it kind of happened how it happened?
I think it just happened how it happened. And, you know, like this dude, Andy Boy, we were neighbors at the farms in Lusaka West. So yeah, I had moved from Charleston, by the way, to Lusaka West. So this dude was my neighbor, and he would always come to my house almost every day. And if it weren't for people like that, I think I wouldn't have even put out any more music, because, you know, I come from a background that doesn't support music. My parents are Jehovah's Witness, you know, so, but then there was dudes like that were always on my neck, like, yo, dude,
you're talented, bro.
Put this out, man. Put this out, you know. So it wasn't really about, you know, in the beginning, it wasn't really about me seeing who might bring what to the table, but just a team of people who just encourage you to work even harder towards that. Yeah, you know, so that's how, because I'll be very honest with you, I don't think Andy Boy is the best of rappers in the world. You know, if I had a choice to make back then, I wouldn't even involve him in the group. Let me be honest with you. He's my boy. I love you, Andy. Sorry, bro. I love you, man.
You've been fired, man.
What you're doing right now is the best thing. Trust me, bro. Yeah. So, but you know, look at G Unit. I don't think Tony Yayo is the best rapper in the world as well.
Yeah.
But there's just that connection that they have that makes a group complete. You know. So
okay.
Yeah.
No, that's very interesting.
Basically what it was.
Okay. So for you it was more organic, and it was, you know, people, I guess, a support base of sorts that kind of came together in this kind of mutual friendship of encouragement. So it was based more on just mutual encouragement. Yeah. And then things organically flowed from there.
Yeah. Basically just people who are being real around you. You know. Yeah. So that even leads back to the Dope G story. So when that happened, at the time, even he formed Zone Fab with the guys, you know. So yeah.
Okay, no, very interesting.
But the most successful project I released out of Secret Records was Thought of You by Mike Brenner. Yeah. That's
a classic, man. What year did that drop? Is that 20?
That should have been 2014 or
14,
15 maybe. Yeah.
That's, in my opinion, a classic. I love that song, bro.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that's the first track I ever tried to mix or master.
Yeah?
Shout out to Secret though. Like Jamaica. He taught me how to mix and master. Yeah. He taught me a few things. So one morning, Mike Brenner, shout out to Mike Brenner too.
Yeah.
Did
like, you meet Mike Brenner through Jamaica, or do you guys already knew each other?
No. I grew up with him. Like, we're both from Charleston.
Who?
Mike Brenner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys had been knowing each other.
Yeah, we had been knowing each other. Okay. That actually wasn't the first recording. We had actually recorded other music before even any of that. Even in the time I was a producer. An artist. An artist. Yeah, we used to rap together and all that stuff.
Okay.
Actually, his name was Triad at the time.
Okay.
Not Mike Brenner. Yeah. So, anyways, fast forward. Mike Brenner is like, yo, I have this idea. What do you think? I'm like, sing it to me, bro. Then he goes, just the thought of you. I'm like, what? Because initially the guy was a rapper. Like,
yeah.
You couldn't sing at all. But then this sounded different to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he sang it to me when I was right next to my laptop, like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, sing it again. Just the thought of you. I was like, sing it again. Just the thought of you. Like, give me a second. Then I go like, doom, 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 in the beat. He's also like, play that again. Play that again. You know what I mean? And I think we made that track in like an hour, bro.
Bro, I don't know what you tapped into.
Yeah, and he did it quickly. Did the hook. 20 minutes later, he was like, I'm ready with the first verse. He records it. Like maybe another 30 minutes afterwards, he's like, I'm ready with the second verse. So we record that track. I mix it. And then I play it for a friend of mine. And then the guy is like, I think it misses a female vocal. That's how I put, there's this girl called Ama B, who sang the Just the Thought of You. Yeah. So after we recorded that is when I actually met Rico. Yeah. So these guys used to run some car wash somewhere in Ibex.
Okay.
And it was like a popping spot in LSK. A lot of people used to chill there, you know. And after meeting Rico, he's like, you know what? Let's take a drive to the car wash and let's play it there. Let's see if people like it. Yeah. We played it there. Everybody went crazy. Who is this? Who is this? They started to look for the song. Before I knew it, it was playing Chicago's Hollywood City. Before I knew it, Hot FM, QFM, everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's what made me become a producer for you.
That was like the solidifying or cementing moment, huh?
Yeah.
So you have just rebranded, I guess, like early 2010s. I mean, I guess that's 2012. You said that session happened where someone's like, "You're a magician."
Yeah.
And you're working, you're putting in your work, and then Secret Records happens. 2014.
Yeah.
You come up with this record with Mike Brenner, and